Hey ratbags, Jade, welcome to a Grounded news video, and I guess kind of like a channel update promo thing. Going to be talking heavy dose of speculation today about possibilities of Grounded coming to other platforms. Also going to be talking about potential for an update, like are we going to get news soon? They've got an event going on, the Grounded community have, organised by their community team, and it could be maybe, if we fingers crossed, be some sort of announcement about an update in future. And I'm giving you a lowdown what's happening with Grounded on the channel and other games that I'm covering, as well as my other channels that I'm working on. So all that, let's go. It's the Grounded News Show. Look at this, I've got my office. I'm getting there. I've just got a few last bits to do, but it's coming along nicely. But more importantly, let's talk about possibly Grounded coming to Nintendo Switch. So back in December, there was a bit of noise, and I won't bore you too much with this stuff because it kind of is a bit dry. But if you don't know, Microsoft are trying to buy Activision Blizzard. Basically, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, all them games would become Xbox exclusives or Xbox owned. Now, PlayStation doesn't like this. They want them not to have the deal go through. They feel like it's a monopoly. And even though Xbox has now, or Microsoft have said that the Call of Duty games would be available on Sony devices for 10 years, they're still not playing ball. Back in December, they announced that they would also make sure that in future, Call of Duty would come to Nintendo. Now, yesterday or just before the day before was a big sort of courtroom drama between them. They're trying to get things through regulators. It's kind of boring and dry. The main takeaway is though that some big henchho at Microsoft Xbox put out this tweet yesterday confirming they've now got a binding contract. And his wording is really interesting and something I'm kind of half praying for. It might not end up being the case. Let's take this with a heavy dose of speculation. But could we see more Xbox games come to Switch? Could we see Grounded come to Switch? We've now signed a binding 10-year contract to bring Xbox games to Nintendo gamers. This is just part of our commitment to bring Xbox games and Activision titles like Call of Duty to more players on more platforms. Now already there are Xbox games on your Switch. Lucky Strike, Minecraft Dungeons, obviously Skyrim since it got bought out by Xbox and Microsoft a little while ago. They've always had a little bit more of a friendly relationship than Sony and Microsoft. So anything like this might be years away, but wouldn't it be great if we could see Grounded actually go on a Switch? I think Grounded is a perfect game for the Switch. That said, the Switch isn't exactly the best hardware to run games on, certainly not the games that you're kind of used to in survival. I've played pretty much every survival game on the Switch, I've reviewed them, and some of them can be quite janky. The hardware just can't really cope with these big open worlds and thousands of base building pieces, but it could be something to bear in mind. Another way they might get something like actually Grounded on a Switch is by doing it digitally. There's a whole host of games that you can only access digitally because they're too powerful for the Switch to actually run themselves, so instead you play it just like you would play a cloud game. Microsoft already have Grounded on the cloud, so it wouldn't be too hard to imagine that if this deal were to go through, Microsoft maybe owned Activision, it might spur them on to do more. And that's what I kind of tweeted and said, it'd be nice to see other games come. Forget Call of Duty, it'd be amazing to see something like Grounded on a Switch. Nintendo Switch is kind of meant to be for more younger audience, and despite me, a grown man, enjoying Grounded, and I'm sure a bunch of grown people, it is marketed as young teens. So to play it on the move and do what you want with it, I think it would be amazing. So, more, like I said, bit of speculation, something that certainly won't happen in the next few months, may not happen at all. But this gives me a little bit of hope that we could see it come to Switch. Would that mean it would come to PlayStation? That's one thing probably not. Microsoft made it pretty clear they're willing to let games like Call of Duty be on multi-platform because they will sell bucket loads and they make them tons of money. But other games, smaller games, RPGs and stuff, or games that are brand new, like Starfield, they want people to buy an Xbox. They don't want you buying a PlayStation and playing Starfield on it. So Starfield's Xbox exclusive. A majority of brand new games are going to be Xbox exclusive. The difference is a whole ton of Activision titles that are already on these platforms. There's one aspect of Grounded that really, I guess, hasn't really hit the mainstream as much. It may have 15 million players. I laud it as one of the best survival games, and 15 million players have played it on their Games Pass. But in the wider scope of things, PlayStation is the dominant force in gaming. But without being on a PlayStation, Grounded kind of slips by a lot of people. It's not mentioned in the same breath as games that are on all platforms, which is a shame because Grounded is better than half them games that I've seen. In fact, I would rate it in the top 3 games of you can play in terms of survival right now. So if this deal goes forward and they plan to do this, you never know though, you never know. So are we going to get an update soon? Maybe? Pure speculation on my part. I've not seen anything really mentioned from the devs, except for that it's coming up to 2 months now since we had a update. The last one was like beginning, middle of December when it actually hit 1.0 or the full branch and not testing. And the Grounded devs are cooking up something special on their weekly streams that they do on Twitch. They've got it called the Backyard Brawl, and pretty much inviting a bunch of content creators and people in the community to come and take part in some PvP. And I've done this to various degrees in the past, but this is like a big tournament. I did want to enter, I was thinking about it, but my skills at PvP are somewhat lacking. And to be honest, I knew I was going to be too busy covering other games and stuff. But if we do get any news about an upcoming update or any kind of content incoming, I'm pretty sure we'd hear it at one of these events. It starts next Wednesday, March the 1st, and it's going to be running for a good few weeks till the 22nd. So if you're not following them on Twitch, go and give them a follow, or you can catch up with the VODs when it's on YouTube. But yeah, that's what I would imagine. Something like this would be good to finally announce some sort of content. They're going to have a bunch of creators from Twitch and YouTube, like I said, other people in the community. So to me, that could be the moment that we start to see some news, hopefully tagged on at the end, about some sort of update. Generally, the updates have come every 3 months. We know that 1.0 would slow things down maybe a little bit. So I'm not saying like I demand an update in the next few weeks. But it has to be said, it is a little dry. I know a bunch of you guys are kind of moving on a little bit or trying other games. There certainly isn't as much interest in Grounded as there was before. But that's normal. That's what happens with any game that releases 1.0. You don't have to always have content ready to keep people there. You can go and play other games. But certainly it would be nice to see some sort of news in a few weeks. Even if it's still a way off. Maybe they're not going to be doing updates every 3 months. Like I said, I kind of wish they would have some sort of general plan or let us know what's actually going to happen. The presumption is on my part that we're going to just see one big major content drop later on this year. And maybe some smaller little updates, maybe like the quality of life one they had just with Christmas. It would still be nice to know now. Now, in my dream and dreams and real speculation hype, wouldn't it be amazing to have a backyard brawl where you've got all these creators taking part? Wouldn't that be the best place to announce an update focused on an arena? If you don't know, originally in the game files, they did have some folders called DLC 1, DLC 2. And within them folders and files, it looked like they were working on some sort of DLC involving some sort of battle arena where you take on different creatures and you and your friends would come in and basically beat them. Wouldn't it be absolutely nuts if, obviously it's not DLC, we know they're not doing paid DLC. Our community manager has strictly, explicitly said that. No plans at the moment at least anyway. And they're not doing microtransactions. So what if this DLC got turned into a free update? And maybe, just maybe, we see news about this arena update coming and being announced when they're showing off these arenas that players are battling in. But for sure, things like the different arm sets we never saw added to the full game, the stuff we know that they're working on in the dev world that didn't work out always and they kind of canned some of their ideas. And yes, taking on a lizard is what most of you guys want. It would be cool to see the earwig sword make a return and stuff like that. And just a tiny bit of promo from me, although I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in another video. I've started up a third channel. I know, a third channel. JCraft is my second channel. I've actually got a much bigger survival channel called JPG, which covers survival games. And I'll be playing Sons of the Forest on that. I've been doing loads of news and previews for Sons of the Forest, and it's where I'm going to be also playing Valheim. Valheim's coming to Xbox on the 14th of March, and I'm going to be all over it for you guys. I know so many of you are Xbox fans. You play Grounded on your Xbox, so please make sure you go and subscribe to see not only Sons of the Forest, but Valheim in the future too. I did think about playing Valheim or moving it over, just like I did with Grounded. I started with Grounded on my main channel and moving it over to here, as they're both Xbox games at the moment, or they will be, and PC of course, so it's a good synergy. That said though, we have got Small Land coming out soon, so I don't want to be doing too much on this channel, and we'll be covering Small Land when it launches on the 29th of March. But yes, my third channel, it's going to be for 100 days playthroughs. I've already got a kind of movie of the forest. If you've never seen the game or wondered what it's about, I did it with my friend Raz Clark, played and completed it all pretty much in 3 sessions. So you get to see the fully edited video beginning to the end. And I'm also going to be putting up a director's cut of my grounded 100 days. I did 50 days, then 100 days. I'm going to be melding them together so you get the best bits from both. And that is also going to be up in the next couple of weeks on this channel. This is where I'm pretty much going to be live streaming in the future. I'm not going to be live streaming on this channel much often anymore. Now and then maybe when there's like a brand new update for Grounded or possibly the small down release. But the majority of my live streams and stuff will be on this channel. And I will be doing mostly 100 days. I'm already working, as you guys know, on the hardcore 100 days of Grounded. So that's going to be continuing and I'll probably play it on this channel as well. And when it's done and it's finished, then this is where the 100 days video will probably go up. I've also got a Valheim 100 days coming up as well, director's cut, that I've been editing and finishing off. And yes, the plan is to have Sons of the Forest 100 days here. So yeah, this is it. It's a channel for 100 days, live streaming them 100 days, and maybe bigger, longer videos now and then. There we go, that is pretty much it. I've got Grounded hardcore Let's Plays coming every couple of days for the next week and a half or 2 weeks. I've recorded them in bulk, they're good to go. And I've got a few little previews of Small Land coming up as well. So until next time, rat bags, laters.